Hey, what's up, everyone? It's State of Soccer, and we are back for another episode. Today, joining me, I have a guest who's been on the show before, Next Generation Football. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? I'm really happy to be back on, and I'm just excited to discuss what we need to discuss in today's video.
With that, let's get started with the always dramatic, biggest flop of the World Cup. Why don't you kick us off?
All right, perfect. I appreciate, that's a good host, letting the guest go first. I got to obviously start it off with a controversy because, it's good for the video. I'm kind of torn between two teams,
Okay.
In my video, we did something a little bit similar, but obviously yours is going to be better. So I'm thinking it's France, but then another part of me thinks it's Portugal. But for the sake of this video, not to repeat my same statement like last time with France, I'm going to say Portugal. Because I think this team looks so dry, looks so dead, and I don't like this Portuguese team, and I think there's been a bit of a decline for Cristiano Ronaldo. Not to say I think Portugal's success actually comes without Cristiano Ronaldo, but I think this might be a similar World Cup to 2014 because I think they are in the group of death in my eyes, and I just don't think it'll end well for them because I think the teams that they are in the group with, the likes of Uruguay, South Korea, I think there can be an upset from one of these teams, or maybe Ghana was in their group back in 2014. So I think there could be a couple of upsets. So I'm going to go with Portugal on this one.
That's a little bit frustrating because that was actually my choice. But and I'll say I will change it. I'll change it. But what I was going to go with was same thing. Cristiano Ronaldo, especially the situation with that Manchester United. What type of form is he going to be in? Can that Portuguese squad get points without him? I mean, we've seen him time and time again kind of come up in the clutch, especially in the qualifiers. But with that, I'm going to say France then. And not because you were going to say France. It's just because the World Cup curse. Everyone's going to call me crazy. But that specific curse, I think, since 2002, 02, 6, 10, 14, and 18, none of the prior World Cup champions have advanced out of the group stage. I think France will advance out of the group stage, but I think they'll get knocked out in the round of 16. That's what I'm going to go with. And that, to me, is a flop for their standing.
That's the exact same boat that I'm in. And we literally just saw Denmark and France. I get it. It's the infamous, everyone's favorite competition, the Nations League, but we literally saw it, and we've seen how good this Denmark team has been in qualifiers and in that competition. So it's like, I mean, they're already, the little cookie crumbles are already there for us. And so will we take it and consume the little trail that is being led for us to what's going to happen in this World Cup? Or are we going to be naive and be like, this France squad is too good to not make it out of the group or just get knocked out in the first round of the knockout rounds?
I'll kick it off. We'll go back and forth here. I think the biggest surprise is, if you call it a surprise, it's going to be Senegal.
Senegal 3, Japan 1. Senegal 3, Japan 1.
I just think Senegal will be the first African nation to advance to a semifinal, which I believe has never happened before. And I think that Senegal, led by Sadio Mane, I just have a lot of trust in them, have a lot of trust in their coach, Cisse, who used to be a Senegalese captain, I believe back in, was it 2006 or 2002? I forget the exact World Cup.
It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, but I definitely think Senegal will make a run, whether you consider that a surprise or not, because I think they're a lot of people's dark horse for this World Cup.
Yeah, I think the Senegal pick is good, and if I wasn't biased, I maybe would go along those lines, but I've spoken about on your channel, I'm torn between two countries. I literally just spoke about Denmark, but I'm speaking of Denmark as surprised in regards, I think they could win this whole thing.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's what I mean by
you
surprise.
You think Denmark could win the whole thing?
I think Denmark can win this whole World Cup.
Oh, really? Really? No?
And Zealand got me on that hype train, and I firmly believe it. I'm so on that. I think Denmark could win this World Cup.
Not to put you on the spot, but what's the number one reason you think Denmark could win the World Cup? Like what?
I mean, you look a little bit at their path. You look at their success recently in qualifying and how they've been playing recently. This team just looks so good. They only lost one game in their qualifiers, which was the last game, which it didn't even matter, their last game, because they were already through.
Yeah.
Only conceding maybe like a handful of goals. And then as well on top of that, this team had many different goal scorers in their qualifying campaign. So they have outlets of scoring from everywhere. And I feel like, after the Christian Eriksen situation, there is something that's giving this team an extra oomph on the field. And plus, they have Eriksen back. It's like there's so much good vibes going on with Denmark. I think they could win it, but they're not going to be my pick because obviously Iran are going to be the biggest surprise of this World Cup.
Okay, so Iran's your biggest surprise.
Yes.
All right. Well, Golden Boot then. Let's move on to that. You go first.
Golden Boot for me, not to prelude it too much to my winner, but you got to pick someone that's going to make a deep run.
Of course.
So I'm going to go Lautaro Martinez.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I like that pick. That's a different pick. I haven't really heard that circling around. So I'm going to go with Sadio Mane just because I think that Senegal is going to go for a run. They need him to score and facilitate if they're going to advance. And I think that he's going to be their guy. So that's mine. Now, kind of related, a little bit unrelated, the player of the tournament, which could be the Golden Boot winner. What are your thoughts there?
This one's a little bit tough for me because I don't want to be granola and I don't want to say Messi, but part of me thinks this could be Messi's tournament. I don't know why. I have that feeling the stars are aligning, that Messi could be this dude and that he is that guy in this tournament. I'm going to switch it up because the reason I said Lautaro is because, this front three, like Messi, Di Maria, Lautaro, they're all getting goals, all getting assists. I think he's been a very underrated player, maybe arguably one of Argentina's best ever players, but I'm going to go with the player of the tournament is Angel Di Maria. I think he could be the guy. If Argentina win it, I think he'll be one of the biggest reasons. I don't think if Argentina do win it, I think obviously they're going to give it to Messi.
They're going to give it to Messi.
Yeah. But I think Di Maria is going to play such a big role that people are going to be like, Di Maria deserved it. Per usual, Di Maria is underrated and whatnot. So I think I'm leaning towards that.
On paper, it's Di Maria, but they might just give it to Messi because that's how football politics work. Yeah. I think Kevin De Bruyne will be the player of the tournament for Belgium. I think Belgium will finally go on a deep run as far as at least a semifinal appearance is what I think, maybe a final appearance. And I think he kind of has a chip on his shoulder. You've been hearing him kind of be very outspoken about how, Belgium's playing too many matches. He plays too many matches. I just think he's kind of grown into himself. He's very vocal.
People are letting him talk.
Say your name. Kevin. Can you tell us something more about yourself, Kevin? De Bruyne.
They're letting him talk, and I think I think he's respected, and he's a facilitator. He's unbelievable. He's just all around a great player. I think he could be Premier League Player of the Year as well as a player of the tournament in the World Cup, and potentially win the Ballon d'Or. I could see it.
You don't think this golden generation, this yada golden generation of Belgium, it's still going to last as one last hurrah for them?
One last hurrah is what it'll be.
Okay, we'll see.
We skipped over the best defensive team. Why don't you kick us off with that one?
This one was kind of tough for me.
Yeah.
I actually don't think necessarily I think Denmark have a good defense, but on paper people would say, well, no, but I think they play very coherently well together. But I'm going to go with the South American nation, and I'm going to go with Brazil because they only conceded 5 goals in qualifiers. And you got the likes of Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Lucas, who plays for Benfica. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but just again, plethora of good center backs. And I think an up-and-coming outside back options. And also Eder Militao, I can't forget about him. And so I think they have a good plethora of options. I think they just play really well in the Brazilian style. And I think their defense was one of their underrated marks in their qualifying. Because they did win a few games, 1-0, 0-0. Both times they played Argentina ended 0-0. They were the only 2 teams in South American qualifying history go undefeated. And I think that was credit to both of their defenses. But I think I just give that nod to Brazil because I think their defense is just that little bit better, and I'm a big fan of their center backs and Alisson, Ederson. Yeah.
I like that choice. I'm going to go with one that might surprise people, but I think if they're going to get out of their group, they're going to have to play incredible defense. And I'm going to go with South Korea. Very random, but get past Portugal, to get past Uruguay, they're going to have to play lights out defense. And defensively, I think if they can make a stand against those two opponents in group stage, I think they'll keep the form up through the knockout round. And I think we could see a quarterfinal appearance for South Korea, which I don't think we've seen since like 2002, which I keep referencing 2002, but I believe they made it far in that tournament as well.
Probably because that's just the last World Cup you remember, huh? 2002.
There's also, yeah, I'm that old. There's also one more 2002 reference coming next. So with that, player of the tournament.
You go first. I want to see what you have to say.
In 2002, Landon Donovan. Actually, let's go to young player of the tournament because I completely missed the boat there. Young player of the tournament. In 2002, Landon Donovan won that award. I think Gio Reyna will be the young player of the tournament.
If they get out of the group stage,
I think they'll get past the likes of Iran, England. Well, they won't get past England. They'll finish second in the group. Get past Wales, and I think Gio Reyna with the U.S. with a quarterfinal appearance. You heard it. You didn't hear it here first. A lot of people have been saying that, especially USMNT on Twitter, will win young player of the tournament.
Where I remind the USMNT Twitter community that Gio Reyna is that dude.
I think a really easy option you can pick is pretty much almost anyone for that USA team if they get out of the group. And I really appreciate you using a Landon Donovan reference, even though he's not the greatest USA player of all time. That will always be
who is?
It's Dempsey.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad. Okay. Then we have mutual agreement on.
We have the Craven Cottage up there, so yeah.
Oh yeah. Up the Fulham. But I'm gonna go with Ryan Gravenberch of the Netherlands.
Ooh, I like that.
He just signed for Bayern Munich, and that guy, him and Anthony were just sensational to watch together at Ajax. Yeah. And now he's just like how you said, Sadio Mane's now made that jump to the Bundesliga. I think Gravenberch is gonna, he's gonna have tough competition, to be fair, with the Netherlands and with Bayern Munich. Getting a starting spot over Mane, Leroy Sané. Weird, a lot of rhyming actually there. And then with the Netherlands as well, you're going up against the likes of, Depay is a player that's going to be ahead of him in that pecking order. Sure. He's going to have to really fight for a spot, but I think if he gets the opportunities, and I'm assuming the Netherlands will hopefully get out of their group, but they've been very fraudulent in recent tournaments, so this could be really touch and go. I could easily give a granola answer and say Phil Foden, but I don't want to, folks. I want to give you guys something good. So it has to be Gravenberch.
There we go. Okay, Gravenberch I like a lot. I actually recently pulled a Gravenberch rookie card in one of my recent pools here. I don't know if you're a soccer card guy, but I've kind of gotten a little bit nerdy for that.
Oh my God, it is boots! It is boots! It's his boots!
But yeah, and ever since then, I've been a big Gravenberch guy. So I'm hoping he does well, hoping I can sell that card and make some money in the World Cup.
So hopefully I just spoke it into existence, so then thus the market value goes up,
The market value, yeah. Who's your champion of the World Cup?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it has to be Argentina. This is it. It's simple as. This is Messi's tournament. I'm not a Messi or Ronaldo fanboy. I could care less what either of them do, but just like this Argentina squad is so good, man. Like, they didn't lose against Brazil. I think Brazil are really good, but it's Brazil, and as long as Neymar plays, they ain't winning a World Cup. As sad as it is, funnily enough, the last trophy Brazil won was without Neymar. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Messi and Argentina, I think, will win this World Cup just because I think they're just so equipped to it, man. This team is ticking at the right time, and this team just had everything is going so right for them. It's the last hurrah for probably the greatest to ever play it. And I think for once, it's so weird. This is what I mentioned in my video. Throughout all of our lifetimes almost, it was always Barcelona were so good and Argentina were so dog water that, Messi always had to carry Argentina. But it's like flip-flopped. PSG are absolute dog water, but Argentina are so good. And I don't think he cares. Because this is what he's wanted
I don't think
his whole career.
I don't even know if he's really going to be focused on club play leading up to the World Cup. I think that he has tunnel vision for the World Cup. And if the soccer gods are smiling upon him, which it seems like they've graced him, obviously he's the best player of all time, I think it's only right. It only fits the narrative. All right, you guys debate that in the comments. Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Additionally, anything we talked about today, if you disagree, make sure to comment. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It's been a lot of fun, Next Generation Football. I've enjoyed this.
I
sound sarcastic there, but I actually sincerely did enjoy this.
No, you were being sarcastic. You were being sarcastic.
Despite it being like 10:30 on a Sunday, but that's my doing. I pushed you back half an hour.
Yeah.
So
nah, it's okay. It's not 10:30 here, so it doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm fine.
All right, guys. With that, make sure to hit like, subscribe. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Please debate it. We'll talk soon. This has been State of Soccer signing off.